Is this their moment? Beckham into Sheringham, and Solskjaer has done it!
Hi guys, and welcome to Back in the Internet. I'm Jay, this is Joe, and just like the Champions League, he is back. Welcome back, big man.
He's back.
Fucking back.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Na 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 na. Oh yeah.
And just like that, all the subscribers left. Welcome to Back in the Internet, where we're going to talk about United, the upcoming game against RedBull Leipzig that hasn't kicked off yet, as we're putting this together just before the match kicks off. The problem with Donny van der Beek and the upcoming game against Arsenal. Joe, fucking hell. It's nice to see you, man.
Tell me about it. I feel like I've just disappeared and come back a year later. But massive week for United, isn't it? Massive week.
Huge week for United this week. Absolutely massive. We've got the Champions League, which is back, and not a lot of teams are in, but we are. We've got Arsenal coming up, which is also a massive, massive game. Must win, I think, personally, with the results that we've had. So let's get into this, Joe. Let's get into the shits and gigs, man. Donny van der Beek. What is the problem with Donny?
See, I've been listening to all the hype from all the commentators and the journalists and the pundits, and I get it. He's not been playing much, but where'd you play him? Like at the moment, United are trying to find their feet this season. Like this week is a massive week for United. If they can win tonight and batter Arsenal at weekend, everyone's going to be singing United's praises. United are going to be back. It's going to be, they're going for the title. I guarantee it. That's what they'll be saying. Donny van der Beek, I think he's just got to wait for his moment. I think all the hype's on Pogba. Where'd you play him? Is he going to get a game? I think that's the same with Donny van der Beek. I think you just wait for him to get his chance, and then he'll get the games. Like Solskjaer in his interview, I bet he was embarrassed answering it. It's just people who want to see him playing. The guy's just come to the club and expects what? Well, we're going to play him every game for 90 minutes. I agree with the fact that they're taking the time to bed him in, and I've no doubt once he gets his chance, he'll take his opportunity and we'll see a good talent. I don't know what you think.
I think some of it, I think you're right in what you say. Some of it is, if we look at the season as a whole so far, we haven't actually started any of our new signings. Tellez, Cavani, Van der Beek haven't started at all. Palestri. So in that regard, I think with some of the stuff that Solskjaer is coming out and saying that he's trying to bed him in, I agree with. However, the flip side of that is we're still playing people like Mata and still playing people like Dan James, who... Whereas Mata can do a job, Dan James cannot do a job. He is
What a player.
Awful at the moment. Absolutely dreadful. Yet we're still relying on him in some sort of system that Ollie's setting up. We're still relying on 2 CDMs, which is nullifying us massively. Yeah. We need to get away from that at some point, because I don't remember a United team since watching them that play predominantly with 2 CDMs. 2 CDMs was always like, if we're playing a big team, if we're playing a Chelsea, a Liverpool, maybe we'd put in 2 defensive midfielders, but we're doing it for every single game.
Yeah,
Newcastle
I've been thinking about it quite a bit and listening to what Solskjaer's been saying. And if you think about it, about a month ago, everyone was saying United haven't really had a pre-match season, have they? They've not really had much training. They're not very fit. They need to find their feet and get going. And I reckon he's been playing those 2 holding midfielders because he's been scared of getting beat. I think I agree they've not been ready. And I think he's needed 2 CDMs to hold each other's hand and not concede too many goals. I reckon this week we're going to see a bit more attacking football. I'm so hoping they just go with 1 CDM tonight. And I think they'll go for it against Arsenal. And then I think we'll start to hear a bit more talk of the fit, the firing all cylinders, and then we can properly have a go again. That's what I'm hoping for. Whether that happens is a complete different story.
You're a bit more optimistic than me. I genuinely think that Ollie just doesn't want to lose a single game. I don't know whether it's a pressure thing or whether he feels that is his best team or that's the best setup for United. But I don't see him playing anything else than or anything other than 2 CDMs. He's got to,
Yeah.
at some point, take the shackles off. I understand he's trying to get these to bed in, but...
Yeah. He seems to be trusting the system and not the players at the moment, doesn't he?
Perfect. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is the players that he's using in the system are still the players that we wanted to replace in this transfer window. Matic, we were looking for a replacement. And we've got one in Donny van der Beek, whichever you want to use. Dan James, we were trying to get Jadon Sancho. We've put Dan James back in. When is Solskjaer going to look at this squad and go, actually, there is potentially a better squad here, or a better set of players that might not fit my system, but will work in a better system? And I think you've hit the nail on the head when you say that. I'm seeing a lot of people and a lot of stuff that we've seen as well saying Donny's a natural number 10. He's played a number 10 for Ajax. He's banged in loads of goals and stuff like that. I had a look at the stats, and let's be honest. At the moment, we're looking at who's better, kind of, aren't we? Whether it's Donny, whether it's Bruno, whether it's Pogba. In Donny's best season, he's scored 11 goals and 6 assists. And his second best season, he scored 9 goals with 10 assists. Compare that to Bruno, who has 18 goals and 7 assists, or 20 goals and 13 assists. And then you look at Pogba, that's had 8 and 12 and 13 and 9. Donny's not actually beat either of them two.
No.
I know he's younger than Scott McTominay, and he's just 23.
He's young and fresh, isn't he?
Yeah. So I think some of the arguments, when you look at the team, everybody is dying for him to play, and I want to see him play as well. And I think everybody's saying, well, when are we going to see Donny, Pogba, and Bruno? And I think we will at some point. I'm hoping we will at some point. However, it's not like United recently to have strength in depth in the right areas, and I think midfield at the moment is key. I think we have strength in depth across the middle, across the board. We're lacking in certain areas, and I think this links in again to the 2 CDMs. I don't think Ollie trusts the back line as much as he can, and I genuinely don't think that he's going to start dropping people that he kind of trusts in your Matters and your Matic's, even from what we're seeing with Dan James recently, for the unknown, because we still haven't seen Tellers in the Premiership yet, and he is better than Luke Shaw. Like, without a doubt, he's already better than Luke Shaw.
And he'll create more chances, won't he?
Yeah, and when we've got the likes of Cavani up top, he'll be whipping balls in for fun, and Cavani will finish them. So I think you're right. I think he is trusting a system over his players massively. But will this cost? Will it cost Solskjaer at some point? Because if we don't start getting numbers on the board, we're 5 games in now, we're 14th in the league, we're not putting numbers up. He's going to have to change something soon, and we can't look at the results that we've had and say, oh well, Man United have actually played well in any of these games, apart from Newcastle for 12 minutes.
We've been quite fortunate, really, with how the league and the other fixtures have been. If United win tonight, they're in a very good position in the group stage. If they win on Sunday, they're in a very good position in the league due to other results. And then people were saying, why are we faulting him? He's doing a good job. But if they get beat on Sunday, United are in trouble.
Oh yeah, big time. We'll be 6 games in. We'll be bottom half of the table. I think, is it the first time we've lost 3 on the bounce at home or something like that? But we've
something like that,
and then we've also set another record that we haven't lost in 10 away. I don't think they count the Valencia game. So it's a bit weird at Man United at the moment. While we're making great strides in some areas, we seem to be taking massive backward steps domestically.
Yeah.
If we get a result tonight and we lose to Arsenal, then again that puts us in that sort of situation where yes, we're doing great in Europe, but we're doing crap domestically, and the teams around us might start pulling away. If this is going to be a trend that continues, especially up to Christmas, when is Ollie going to pull the trigger and say, do you know what, fuck it, I'm going to have to let you guys off the leash to do what you do? Because domestically, I'm not going to lie, mate, I'm starting to get worried. I'm seeing a pattern emerging that United, whether we're home or away, just do not look great. And I don't think it's through personally lack of trying. I genuinely think we're just kind of lost in the
Yeah.
Premier League at the moment.
Yeah, I think you're right. And 100% when you watch them playing, like you watched them against Chelsea, they were scared of conceding. They were scared of losing the game. So if they wanted to attack, they were very cautious about how they went around it. And you could actually see it sat at home watching it. So God knows what's going through the Reds. But yeah, I agree. At some point, they've got to go for it, or else someone's head's on the chopping block, isn't it?
Well, the Chelsea game, I think we should have won that. We should have genuinely just gone out to win it because Chelsea set up to be defensive. Chelsea wanted to play defensively, and we played right into their hands. We just did not put enough pressure on Chelsea to make the breakthrough, and we were lucky because Stonewall penalty that by Harry Maguire.
Too right.
Yeah, and
we were lucky.
Would we have come back from that playing the way we did?
No, we'd have probably gone all attacking and probably conceded another.
Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, the reaction to the game, I saw Patrice and I saw Hasselbank going at it, and I think it was a massive overreaction, especially with the press and everything that came out afterwards. It was still 0-0 against Chelsea, but I think it was Hasselbank that said, if United kick on from here or if Chelsea kick on from here, it's a good result. If they don't, then it's a bad result. And I think this week will prove whether or not it's a good or bad result.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So that's Donny van der Beek. So at the moment, I think we both agree that he's got to wait his chance, and when he gets his chance, he's got to take it.
I think he'll either play tonight or Sunday, only because the pressure that's now been put on Solskjaer around him. I think if he plays him tonight, then he doesn't have to play him for 2 or 3 games. But then I look at it, I still look at Donny van der Beek. Yes, he's come on and done some good things, but can you fit him into that starting lineup every week at the moment? No, I don't think you can. You're never going to drop Bruno Fernandes. And as United are playing at the moment, they're scared of losing, so they're going to play the 2 CDMs. So unless you're going to put Donny van der Beek on the wing, he's not going to get a game. So unless he changes that system, I don't see Donny van der Beek or Paul Pogba starting for United at the moment.
No, neither do I. I don't know. I mean, Fred and McTominay are doing a great job, I guess, as CDMs. But when you look at them, I mean, Fred wasn't bought to be a CDM. He's kind of fell into that. And McTominay is the younger, fresher version of Matic, I suppose. But he lacks Matic's passing. Yeah, he runs around and he looks busy, but he can't seem to thread a ball. And Fred
he hasn't got the same vision, has he?
No, and Fred for all his endeavour, and I do like him. I genuinely do like him. I just think that when he gets into the positions, because he's the one that seems to push up. But when he pushes up, he'll balloon a shot. It will go to the corner flag. He isn't that midfielder that I think breaks up the play well enough, and then instigates what's happening next in the next phase of play, for him to get a shout week in, week out. And this is where I think the system has to change. And I do think we can get Pogba, Donny and Bruno in. I know we've spoke about it before, saying, can we play Bruno and Pogba at the same time? I think we can. I think it'll be unorthodox, but I think we can do it.
Yeah. I don't think we'd have any wingers, would we? We'd play a complete different formation.
Yeah. Do we need wingers?
No, I don't think so. I'd be quite happy with playing Rashford behind the striker, just on the left-hand side, so we can still cut in. I reckon going forward, if he's going to play Pogba at all, he's going to move Pogba onto the left side of the centre midfield, which he enjoys playing. But we'll talk about Pogba another time, because I do think Pogba will be used as and when this season, and I think he'll be gone in the summer.
It's a shame, really. I don't want him to leave. I know he gets a lot of bad press, but I don't want him to leave. I think he's one of the more technical players in the Premier League. He's in that sort of upper echelon with your KDBs and people like that. For United to lose Pogba, I think that'd be a massive, massive step back. I also kind of feel, and I was thinking about it before we went on when we went live, that I think that United may have purchased Van der Beek just to spite Madrid. The more I look into it, there's key areas we need to address we didn't, and then we look at this transfer coming out of left field. Madrid are interested. All of a sudden, United are interested. Got the signature done.
Yeah.
this is why I think that Solskjaer is trying to wrap his head around what we do with Donny.
Yeah.
So he could play tonight. Again, we haven't seen the lineups yet, so it's going to be one of those, isn't it?
Well, I've just got a notification, and I think the lineups have come out now, haven't they? But obviously, I can't see it on my phone. But I don't know. I reckon he might start Van der Beek tonight. I reckon he'll fall to that pressure that's been mounting on him over the last week, and I reckon he'll give him a start. I think if he plays well, it'll all be sunshine and rainbows. If he plays shit, then I reckon Solskjaer will come out and say he's not ready.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Ollie always seems to have an excuse up his sleeve or a backup plan. If he does come out today and he plays crap, then he'll come out and say, well, he's not ready yet. But we know he is. He's been pretty much the only midfielder that has been ready and has been fit, ready to go. So I don't think that excuse holds any water.
Yeah.
If he's not used tonight, he's got to be used the weekend, because one of the things that he came out in the press conference was saying it was nice having options. It was nice having strength in depth. Now, it doesn't mean anything if you're not playing players that are waiting in the wings. You are playing tired players. And as we saw last season, ultimately, that's what cost us.
They were dead on their feet, weren't they? Yeah.
Same team, week in, week out. I personally think that's what cost us against Chelsea. That's what cost us against Valencia. And if we'd have had somebody like a Donny to bring on, rather than bringing on Dan James and Igalo and these players, when you say stuff like that, it sounds pretty embarrassing, especially when you're in the semi-final of a European, cup.
Yeah, too right. Of course it is.
So at least we've got strength in depth, Joe.
Yeah, I'm positive though this week. I reckon it'll be a good result tonight, and I'm optimistic that we're going to do Arsenal at weekend. I just don't think they've got it in them to stop United at the moment. I think United are going to move forward. They look sharper, United. They don't look dead on the feet. I think they have got themselves proper match fit, and I think they'll go out and they'll blitz Arsenal on Sunday. I'm up for it.
The way the Premiership is, mate.
Van der Beek playing tonight.
Oh, he is playing?
Van der Beek starts. They're playing the Diamond. Pogba, Bruno, and Van der Beek.
There we are. We got our wish. So while we've been recording this, it's come to fruition. So does that mean we're playing Marcus and Martial up top?
Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? Could be.
Super. So that team that you sent me in the week is probably the team that we're putting out minus Tellez.
Bar Tellez. Gutted about that. I'm most excited about watching him and seeing how he develops for United. He looks special, doesn't he?
Mate, he was mustard on FIFA last season and the season before that.
Yeah, he looks mint. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah, definitely a good signing. So where do we go from here then? So the lineups will come out. Happy with that. If that's the lineup and it does well tonight, will we play that lineup against Arsenal, do you reckon? Or do you reckon we'll fall back into the domestic formation that we're sort of getting used to now?
I reckon tonight he's obviously seen it's not a massively tough opponent, and he's going to try something different. If it pays off, I think we might see a different United going forward, and I think it might be positive for the next couple of weeks for all the United fans to see United going for it for a change and not counter attacking and sitting on the back foot and waiting for someone to make a mistake and then using the pace of the midfield and the strikers. I reckon it could be different to watch tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
I like the fact that you think Red Bull are not the hardest opponent. They're top of the Bundesliga. They're on a right tear at the moment.
I get that, but I've heard a lot of what they've been saying this week. They're very wary of United's pace, and I think United could take them apart if given the chance, and that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
If I see it again tonight, then I'll be a bit more settled. I don't want to see that PSG was a fluke, and then we go and play these guys and get railroaded and then get hammered by Arsenal the weekend. I think if that does happen, leading up to the international break, Ollie might be sweating a little bit. Yeah,
definitely. He needs to get a string of results together, doesn't he? And I think it's been perfect the way the results have fallen. If he can beat Arsenal at weekend, they're back in the mix, and I think it could be positive going through to Christmas. But it's a big game, isn't it? Every game's a big game at the moment for United.
It is at the moment, and the way the Premiership is, but sooner or later, the big boys are going to start putting it together. Your Cities, Liverpool, potentially. although they've had some really big injuries. Fabinho's out now. He got injured last night. Chelsea look like they may click at some point. I don't think they'll do it under Frank. But
No, I don't.
The team at the moment that seem to be putting it together, and I watched them the other night, was Tottenham. I genuinely think that if Tottenham can keep this going with everything going wrong for everybody else around them, they're going to be spicy. They're going to be in the mix.
Yeah, definitely, mate. But it's Jose, innit? Let's hope he fucks it up. Falls out with someone.
Well, while Kane and Son are assisting each other, it's going to be difficult.
Too right. Now all we need is Bale to start firing all cylinders, and then we are fucked, aren't we?
So we were talking about the United team. We were talking about our best 11 or who we would put out. I put my best 11 down on paper. This is on paper, all right, who I think that we should or how we should set up this season. And I've gone with, and I just want your opinions on it. So some of it is pretty much this team with one tweak. So David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka right back, Harry Maguire centre back, Twanzebe next to him, Telles on the left, and then Pogba left. Matic CDM, Pogba left, Bruno in the middle, Donny right, Rashford, Martial. Any changes
same
there?
as mine, but I wouldn't put Axel in it. At the moment, it'd still be Lindelof for me. I don't think Axel's proved that he's United's potentially best centre-back, just having one performance. Don't get me wrong, I want him to be our centre-back, but I think he's got to prove himself. He's got to be match fit for at least a few months. He's got to put in some performances, and then he can nail that position. And I've had this argument with a lot of people. They've all said he's the best. How can you tell me he's the best? He's had one decent game for United against PSG in a year. As soon as he plays those games and shows that he's the best, then I'll agree with you. But at the moment, I can't put him in that back lineup.
So listen, tell me something. When did you and Lindelof start going to the lakes together? What do you see in this in the Iceman that I don't?
What's that, Victor? Yeah, just get us a Peroni. I don't know. He's just. I'm not saying he's the best centre back, but like I like how he plays things easy. Like he doesn't mess about. I know he makes mistakes, but every centre half makes mistakes. I think he gets so much grief because it's Man United. I think he takes a lot of pressure off Maguire at times. And, like going forward, I do want it to be Axel and Maguire. They're not going to drop Maguire.
No.
It is going to be Axel and Maguire if Axel can stay fit and put some decent performances in. But until that happens, I've got to stay with the Iceman, mate.
So is he better than Bailly?
Bailly, I love him to bits, but he's just so erratic. You don't know if he's going to pass the ball out or kick someone in the face, do you? So you can't stick him in just for the fact that you don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, my issue with Lindelof is I think he's extremely weak in the air. He's faster than Maguire, but even with Maguire's turning circle, I think Maguire's just got a better defensive brain. And sometimes I watch Lindelof and I don't know whether he's a centre back or a CDM. It just seems to get lost in that space between defence and midfield from time to time. And it's cost us before. It cost us last season. I think a ball bounced over Maguire's head and then Lindelof was stuck in no man's land.
Yeah. And I've had this argument with so many people this last week. Literally, everyone's been telling me, "Oh, well, you've got to stick Axel in your starting 11, the best 11 for United." And I keep saying, "Tell me how. You tell me how you can put him in right now." Well, did you not see him against PSG? I did. I saw him for 90 minutes. The 90 minutes he's played in 365 days, and you're telling me that you can stick him in the best 11 for United. I can't agree with that. I'd love to, because I do rate him. I love a fast defender like him. But at the moment, he's not proving it to me.
Yeah, no, well, all right, fair enough. A lot of things have been said about Axel that make him sound like he's fantastic. I mean, before all his injuries and stuff like that, for what we did see of him, he looked great. He's getting to an age now where he's got to start cracking on, because if these injuries keep coming and coming and coming like they have with Bailly, then he's going to be screwed, and we're going to be another centre back down, and it'll be rotation, and we've got to cut that out. So in January, if anything comes about, we've got to put our hand in our back pocket and bring in a centre back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of transfers, saw one today. Little bit excited about this. I'm sure you're pretty excited about this as well, Joe. Being
Adama.
a bodybuilder, Adama Traore.
Get him in. Get him in.
Mate,
If they can
he
get him
would
for
be
half the price
mustard.
of Sancho, yeah, I think it'd be something different for United, wouldn't he? Give him the ball and run down the wing and stick it in the box. I think that's, we haven't got anyone like that, have we? Yeah, we could have got Sancho for 100 million. He's a bit of a baller. Adama's completely different, isn't he? He's a guy that will get the ball at right back and he'll sprint up towards the corner flag and he'll either cut inside or he'll whip it in or he'll go for goal. And he just uses that brute force, doesn't he? And it'd be something different. The thing that worries me is he can't seem to get in the starting 11 for Wolves. And that worries me.
Well, we spoke about the reason why I don't think he can. And I think, again, this is something that happens with Solskjaer. I think he's a victim of the system that Nuno plays. Nuno is liking to play with Semedo at the moment. And obviously, Adama was playing as a right wing back. But I think with Semedo there, I don't think he can fit in Adama as well. So he's sort of moving Adama more centrally. And it's impacting on him. So whether or not Wolves are going to turn around and go, look, we can't use you anymore because we can't fit you in Nuno's system, or he adapts his game and becomes this number 9, number 10, wherever they're going to put him next to Raul.
Yeah, he's not going to do it. He's not that kind of player. He's not a guy that's going to get the ball and bend it in top bag, is he? He's just a brute force player. Hit it as hard as you can, from what I've seen, anyway.
And from what I've seen, that's his sort of game. Like you say, he gets the ball and he just runs down the wing and he pings it in all the time. Problem is, we don't have a natural finisher when it comes to aerial ability. So he would have to cut in and literally put it across the floor for somebody to hit.
Yeah.
At the moment, Podence and Neto are playing. Neto's scoring. Podence is creating. Adama doesn't look like he's got much of an option. Unless, again, they use him as a striker, but they play Raul and they're not going to drop Raul.
No,
so that kind of puts us in pole position. So come January, this might be something that we actually revisit and say, do you know what? What a great signing. I'm personally sick of the Sancho deal. And it took too much of our summer up.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it again. If we could use that money and get 3 other players in for the money we'd use for Sancho, we're laughing, aren't we?
Pretty much. I mean, if we look back on it, how much were we going to pay Sancho? Was it 110, 120 million?
Yeah, was it 108, something like that?
Yeah. Now, if we look at how much we can potentially get Adama for, say we pay max, and I'm balling out here, but say we paid 70 for Adama and paid 50 for Upamecano. Those are 2 key areas that we need. We need a right winger if we're going to play that system. We need a centre back. We can get 2 world-class players.
Yeah.
Or on the verge of being world class, rather than one Jadon Sancho. So although I was buzzing, it was like Sancho this, Sancho that, and it would have changed. I think it would have changed the system dramatically. We didn't get him. I think we can use the money to get somebody else in. I think he's the only viable candidate, really.
Right.
That
I
we can
really
get.
wanted Sancho in. I'd have bought the shirt. I'd have got Sancho on the back, but when I started looking at it and the money, I was thinking, it's a lot of fucking money, isn't it? And then you think you could get Adama. I reckon the first bid would be 50 million by United. I reckon they'd start at 50. And I reckon Wolves would be tempted if United were thinking of walking away.
Yeah.
So, I reckon 70 is the max. I don't think it'll get to 70 if he leaves. But, if you could get 2 decent players in like that, it's a no-brainer for me. I love Sancho and I love what he potentially could bring to United. But it's a no-brainer, that deal.
Well, look at Jota. He went for was it 40 million, 45 million?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Great business by Wolves. Actually looks like he's doing the business for Liverpool. He's come up with a few goals now. Maybe Adama's seen the same thing and he thought, do you know what? I want a crack at a bigger club. And I say that without being disrespectful, obviously, to the Wolves, because I love the Wolves. You see by the bloody half an hour scarf behind us. However, I think he'd fly at United. I genuinely think he'd fly at United. And with Wan-Bissaka behind him as well, you've got a right winger who, like you say, can come back and do defensive work should he need to, next to Spider, who's up and down like a whippet anyway, who's doing all the defensive work. the right-hand side would be absolutely solid.
Yeah. And United had triple his wages. So I know it's not all about the money, but money talks, doesn't it? From what I've seen, he's not paid a massive amount of money. And if United offered Wolves 50 million and his agent tells Adama they're willing to triple your wages, I think he's going to be like, where do I sign?
Mate, don't believe everything that comes out of Wolves, because apparently he doesn't train either, but he's that size.
He's a beast, isn't he, mate? He doesn't train on the pitch. He trains in the gym.
No, apparently he doesn't train at all. That's what I mean.
He does.
He doesn't train. That's all genetics.
Just eats lots of spinach, doesn't he? Lots of spinach.
Right, well, as we're due to kick off very soon, is there anything else you want to talk about, Joe?
I just want to see the boys put in a performance tonight. I want to see some goals. And then in our next video, we can talk about the positive future for Manchester United. And
eventually, when there is a positive future for Manchester United, we may post a video. It might be next season, but we'll post it. No, joking aside, I want to see the boys do it tonight as well. I think Red Bull is a very good test. I think Arsenal get back to winning ways. Put Banter FC away, for fuck's sake, because they're shit. Arsenal are genuinely shit. And if we can't beat them, and I know there's people will say, oh, well, you didn't beat Brighton, you fucking dragged your feet, Palace whooped you. When you look at their teams, there are slight differentials in their teams that you know that you're in for a bit of a tough game. When you look at Arsenal, they're like a wet paper fucking bag, these cunts.
No. Too right. 100%. I'm not having fucking Mustafi leading them from the back, fucking doing United on Sunday. I'm not having it.
Gash, mate. If we don't, you know what? I'll say this now. If we don't get a result against Arsenal, even I will start to have a look at fucking Ollie and his wheel, because that's one team. That's one team you genuinely fucking have the blueprint to beat them. They've got a shit back line. Their strikers are off form. Their midfield's fucking pants, and all they do is try and retain possession. If United sit back and play defensively like we do and let them have possession in front of us, they might break and get a fucking easy goal. We press them bastards with a lot of speed and a lot of pace. They're fucking done for. Absolutely done for.
On Sunday, mate, we're going to have a pint and we're going to toast to John Kidd. Thanks for 3 points.
Yeah, John, you still owe me that fiver as well, mate. All right, Joe, on that note, only a short one today. I'm sure we'll have loads to talk about in the next one. I am so happy for you to come back. So grateful for everybody that's filled in while Joe's been away. But now the big man is back. I have to point that way because it's always mirrored. Now the big man is back. We're looking to get more and more of these podcasts done. Get people subscribing and get basically back of the internet out of there.
Good lad.
Anything you want to say? Now you're back, mate.
Get subscribed and let's get some more videos on the go, eh? Come on, the boys.
Right, guys, we've been back at the internet as always. Jay and finally fucking Joe. Let's get it. 3 points tonight, 3 points on Sunday. Come on.
Laters.